podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Welcome to another episode of Anxious Black Belt podcast. Today, I'm going to be looking at the price of success in martial arts. Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share it with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. The price of success. Martial arts have been revered for centuries as disciplines that foster self-mastery, respect, and authentic skills. However, in recent years, as martial arts have surged in popularity, something essential has been lost in the growth process. Judo, taekwondo, karate, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing, all once rooted in intense tradition and rigorous standards, are now facing what some martial artists call the price of success. As more people flock to these arts, lured by their potential for fitness, self-defense, and social standing, there has been a noticeable drop in quality, often marked by fake black belts. Commercialization and school comparison the standards to cater the wider, less disciplined audience. In contrast, combat sports like boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling appear to have weathered this trend more resiliently. Let's explore why traditional martial arts have struggled to maintain their integrity amid soaring popularity, and what it means for the future of martial arts as a whole. The global surge in popularity of martial arts can be attributed to several factors. Movies, TV shows, and social media have turned martial arts into glamorous, accessible pursuit. MMA organizations like the UFC have spotlighted disciplines like BJJ and kickboxing, creating a ripple effect across other martial arts. As the world became increasingly interested, dojos and gyms sprang up everywhere, hoping to capitalize on this boom. However, with the influx of practitioners came delusion in quality. Authentic martial arts training, traditionally rigorous, slow to progress, and deeply philosophical, has often taken a back seat to profitability and growth. Schools that once trained a handful of serious students now cater to dozens, if not hundreds, often placing quantity above quality. This shift has birthed a troubling trend in martial arts. Fake black belts and dubious certifications have become alarmingly common. Aspiring martial artists can, in some cases, pay their way to a black belt with minimal skills, receiving titles and belts in an unearned display of expertise. This trend has tarnished the reputation of entire martial arts disciplines, calling into question the legitimacy of belts, ranks, and ultimately the arts themselves. Each martial art has suffered differently under the weight of commercialization, but the outcome has been largely similar, a delusion of quality. Judo was originally designed as a martial art that refined physical and mental strength through disciplined practice, but today it faces increasingly pressure from sportification. The rules and moves have to be altered to appeal to spectators, and traditional forms are often sacrificed in favor of those score points, meaning judo essence is fading in competitive setting. Taekwondo has perhaps suffered one of the worst fates in terms of commercialization. Originally a martial arts focused on powerful kicking and rigorous conditioning, Taekwondo's rise to Olympic status has brought with it point-based scoring and an emphasis on a speed rather than strength. The result? Taekwondo gyms are now more likely to focus on teaching young students basic movements with less regard for true self-defense or combat readiness. Short interruption just to let you know that now we've got officially a registered karate for mental health community interest company that runs the community-based programs. And if you would like to support, you can grab some merchandise from a Karate for Mental Health CIC shop. 100% of income goes into community projects, so would be awesome if you could support us. And it's independent now from Les Bubka, from my endeavors, from that podcast. There's no more buy me a coffee for a podcast, but you can buy a coffee for a Karate for Mental Health. And again, this all income from that goes directly into the community-based projects. Let's get back to the show. Karate, similar to taekwondo, became a victim of its own success as it spread across the world. In some schools, practitioners earned black belts in mere months, undermining what was once a title of honor reserved for years of dedication. While karate still has purists, the abundance of poorly run schools makes it difficult for outsiders to distinguish between skilled martial artists and those who wear a black belt for show. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is more recent arrival in the world of mainstream martial arts, but its rapid growth has led to similar issues. Though BJJ gyms generally uphold more rigorous training standards, the pressure to expand has still led to belt factories. The awards belt more on attendance and less on skills, undermining the reputation of what was once seen as one of the most challenging martial arts to master. Kickboxing was once solely practiced by dedicated fighters and professionals. However, as kickboxing became more mainstream, fitness-oriented versions replaced traditional, harder edge training. Instructors without legitimate fighting experience are common, and students looking for a solid foundation in the art might find themselves in a cardio kickboxing class that lacks technique or real sparring. Interestingly, traditional combat sports like boxing, Muay Thai, and wrestling have been less impacted by this trend. Why? Largely because these sports retain in a heavy emphasis on direct competition and measurable success. In a combat sport like boxing, for instance, a fighter's skills level is immediately apparent. It's hard to fake prowess when one's success is based on real results in the ring. The same applies to wrestling and Muay Thai, where sparring and competition reveals any deficiency in skills quickly. Combat sports have managed to keep quality high because there is no substitute for real-world application. You cannot buy your way into becoming a reputable boxer or Muay Thai fighter. You must prove it. In boxing, a true professional still emerges from grueling training, with no shortcuts to the top. This emphasis on results in a competitive setting naturally weeds out those seeking shortcuts or easy accolades, maintaining the purity of the sport. The price of success has undoubtedly damaged the reputation of many martial arts. The price of success has undoubtedly damaged the reputation of many martial arts. As the public loses faith in the legitimacy of black belts and certification, martial arts could face a trust crisis. When parents enroll children in karate or taekwondo, hoping they learn self-discipline, self-defense, and confidence, they might be unwittingly investing in a diluted training that lacks real substance. This trend has led many traditionalists to worry about the future of martial arts as a whole. The loss of respect and rigor in martial arts training could lead to culture where belts and titles hold little meaning, and the students have less commitment to mastering their craft. If this trend continues, martial arts risk being seen as little more than a fitness routine, stripped of their rich philosophical and self-defense roots. For martial arts to retain their value, it's essential that schools and organizations renew their commitment to quality and rigor. This might mean fewer students, stricter standards, and the return to demanding requirements of traditional training. Schools can seek affiliation with established bodies that enforce quality standards, and martial arts communities can collectively push back against fake black belts and dubious certifications. For practitioners and enthusiasts, it's equally important to recognize that value of depth over shortcuts. Martial arts are, at their core, a lifelong journey. The allure of a quick rewards may appeal to the casual learner, but those who truly wish to pursue martial arts for the right reason must seek training that prioritizes genuine skills, not just accolades. The price of success has taken a toll on many traditional martial arts, but it's not too late to reclaim their integrity. By recognizing the dangers of commercialization and resisting the lure of quick advancements, the martial arts community can work to preserve the quality and authenticity that once defined those disciplines. The journey of martial arts is not simply about gaining a belt or a title. It's about mastering oneself, respecting tradition, and passing on a legacy unmarred by shortcuts. Only by upholding those values can martial arts continue to be a source of growth, discipline, and skills for generations to come. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best. Until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.